Hi, I'm Adele Thomson. I'm a teaching and learning consultant for Lancashire and I work in schools across the county in my role on the school improvement team. This vlog is going to get you to think about what you can do when your pupil seems to be unsure about what to do next and yell out, "I'm stuck." So you might feel a bit confused, not sure what to do. We've all been there. Today I'm going to talk you through a step-by-step guide to help you when supporting children in class when they say, "I'm stuck." Sometimes we can really easily find the right ways to support the children, but there may be other pressures in the room that day that impact on us, such as maybe a member of SLT are on a learning walk or Ofsted are in the building. Maybe you're just not feeling totally yourself. This session will hopefully give you the confidence to know that what you are doing is making a difference. It will improve your self-confidence in your own ability at your job. The Education Endowment Foundation have developed a resource called the Scaffolding Triangle, or the Scaffolding Framework. I share this in many of my schools and I've seen the positive impact of it firsthand. Adults in school feel much more confident that they're asking the right questions across a range of subjects using this structure. Confident adults have the capacity to stand back and know that they're working hard when the child is working harder than them. If we take a look at the structure from the bottom to the top, we can see that it starts with correcting, saying things to children like, "That's wrong." This requires very little thought from the child and may actually cause a negative reaction. This level of support requires the adult to work harder than the child, finding the errors and marking them. Modelling is next on the scaffolding framework, and that's where the adult might be writing in the book or on a flip chart and the child is observing. Again, the adult in class is working harder than the child at this point. As we move up the triangle, we reach cluing, where the adult starts to ask questions or say things like, "Have a look in that paragraph of text, that might be able to help you," eventually leading to simple prompts, such as a reminder about the working wall, or a question such as, "Have you thought about this? Have you thought about that?" All that leads to the pupils eventually having the ability to make those decisions for themselves and to begin to work more independently more often. And this is called self-scaffolding. This will have a positive impact on all outcomes for that child. So let's take a look at an example of the scaffolding triangle in action in a Key Stage 1 geography lesson about the countries of the UK, capital cities, seas and oceans. You can see that we start with the adult encouraging the children with a non-threatening command to start their work. "I'll come and see you in 2 minutes, get everything you need and make a start." Then we move towards some prompts to think about their prior knowledge and encourage them to think about what resources they might need, such as the atlases on their table. "What do you already know to help you with this? What have you got on your table that can help you with this?" That sort of thing. From there, we add some extra support with clues again to help children do that really hard job of drawing information from their long-term memory back into their working memory so they can use it. Do you know a country in the UK which begins with the letter S? What do you think goes in the box with the letter S? Finally, we might model. That word says Scotland. I'm going to write that in the box with an S like this, and then you're going to do the rest. And then maybe a correction. That's Scotland, not Wales, so we need to pop Scotland in there. If a wrong answer is presented, such as Wales written in where Scotland should be, then we can still go in at the prompt level and remind them of the atlas on the table or to check their work with a peer. One other good strategy is to give a clue. Some of your countries are labelled properly and some aren't. See if you can find them. Correcting isn't necessarily a bad thing to do. This would normally be seen when using peer assessment in class, as their friends will definitely normally go straight to correct them, but they'll often show them why they're wrong and explain that in a more child-friendly tone than we would perhaps. The scaffolding triangle can be used in every subject across the curriculum and in every key stage. It can even be used at home with your significant other. For example, something that causes friction in our house is the dishwasher. I might start by being super patient and just waiting to see what happens. Wait time is vital in a classroom as children need time to process what you've asked and what they need to do. It reminds them that they need to start their work. Then you can give a little prompt. If we change this one to maths, you might say, "Remember when we talked about halves and what did we use to help us in that lesson?" Then we might give a clue. In science, we might say, "What do you think we might need to do to make this a fair test?" Or, "What do we need to think about here when writing this part of our story?" Then we move on to modelling, which could well be the best way to start the dishwasher, or it might be about writing a character description, for example. The correcting gives the children the chance to stop thinking and switch off from the conversation. They do the least work in this scenario. If we look specifically at my dishwasher analogy, we can see that prompting and cluing give us really good opportunities to ask high quality questions and find out what's really going on. This does take time though, and it needs to be practiced for us to get faster at giving the right support at the right time. So let's start trying to give our pupils the least amount of help first. To ensure the pupil is working towards self-scaffolding, it's a good idea to focus on prompting and then cluing, and only modelling and correcting when absolutely necessary. Some examples of prompts you might give are here, but this is not an exhaustive list. And here are some examples of clues that would be useful to have a go at using in the classroom. So let's try to wait, prompt, and then give a clue when you next hear someone yell, "I'm stuck," across the classroom. Thank you for listening to this session, and I hope you found it useful.